Welcome back to History with Liam, where a real historian guides you through parts of history you might have not heard about before. Today we're exploring the life and miracles of the Capuchin friar Padre Pio. Born in 1887 in a small Italian village, Padre Pio rose to worldwide prominence as a Capuchin friar, mystic, and stigmatist whose life continues to inspire devotion, controversy, and fascination. His reputation for holiness, his reported miracles, and his extraordinary mystical experiences set him apart as one of the most remarkable figures of the 20th century. This video looks at the friar's life and legacy, not just the popular anecdotes, but the historical context, the ecclesiastical investigations, the devotion that followed him, and his eventual canonization as a saint in the Catholic Church. Padre Pio was born on May 25, 1887, in the small farming village of Pietrelcina, located in the southern Italian region of Campania. His parents were simple, devout peasants. They lived in poverty, but their household was one of deep Catholic faith. Despite not being able to read, they narrated Bible stories for their children. The family attended Mass daily and prayed the Rosary each night. From an early age, Padre Pio displayed a remarkable religious sensitivity. He reportedly began having mystical experiences as a child, visions of Jesus and Mary, as well as spiritual struggles with demonic figures. His family recalled that he often spent long hours in prayer, even before he received a formal religious education. While these early accounts may have been embellished by later hagiographers, they reflect a boy marked out as having an unusually deep and pious religious practice. At the age of 15, he entered the order of the Capuchin Franciscans, taking the religious name Pio in honour of Pope Pius I, whose relic was stored at his local church. He had met a wandering Capuchin travelling the countryside, and his piety had left a profound impression on him and influenced his decision to join the order. The Capuchins, a reformed branch of the Franciscan order, emphasised simplicity, austerity, and closeness to the poor. They had been authorised as a legitimate Catholic order in 1528 and had spread across the globe in the centuries that followed. This Franciscan environment deeply shaped Padre Pio's spirituality and worldview. Padre Pio entered the novitiate in Marcone in 1903. His early years of formation were marked by illness. He suffered from poor health throughout his life, including chronic bronchitis and digestive issues. Despite these difficulties, he persevered in his studies. He studied philosophy and theology at various friaries, although his education was often interrupted by illness, forcing him to return home to Pietrelcina for long periods. He was eventually ordained to the priesthood on August 10, 1910, at the age of 23. His ordination marked the beginning of his priestly ministry, but his frail health limited his assignments. He was temporarily permitted to live with his family while remaining a Capuchin friar in good standing. This unusual arrangement reflected both his poor health and his order's trust that his vocation was genuine despite these setbacks. The turning point in Padre Pio's life, and the event that catapulted him to international attention, came in September 1918. While praying before a crucifix in the choir loft of the Friary Church in San Giovanni Rotondo, he reportedly received the stigmata, the wounds of Christ's crucifixion appearing on his hands, feet, and side. The stigmata had a precedent in Catholic history, most famously with Saint Francis of Assisi in the 13th century, but in the modern era, it was exceedingly rare. For Padre Pio, the wounds would remain, painful, bleeding, and visible, for over 50 years until his death in 1968. He was known for wearing gloves or mittens to cover up the wounds in public. News of the stigmata spread quickly, drawing pilgrims, curiosity seekers, and skeptics to San Giovanni Rotondo. His reputation as a living mystic, a man bearing Christ's wounds, grew rapidly. With it came other extraordinary claims: bilocation, the reading of souls in confession, miraculous healings, and battles with the devil. The growing devotion to Padre Pio alarmed church authorities, who were cautious about phenomena that might be fraudulent, exaggerated, or psychologically explained. The Holy Office, today known as the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, launched investigations into his case. Doctors were brought in to examine his wounds. Some suggested natural explanations, such as hysteria or self-inflicted injuries, while others concluded that the wounds defied medical understanding. The Holy Office issued several restrictions on Padre Pio. At various times in the 1920s and 1930s, he was forbidden to publicly celebrate Mass, hear confessions, or have direct contact with the faithful. These measures caused great distress amongst his followers, but reflected the Church's caution in dealing with extraordinary claims. Nonetheless, devotion to Padre Pio only grew. Many Catholics believed his mystical gifts were genuine, and thousands travelled to the friary to seek his intercession. San Giovanni Rotondo became a centre for pilgrimage long before his official recognition by the Church. Perhaps more than any other aspect of his ministry, Padre Pio became renowned as a confessor. He would often spend up to 12 hours a day hearing confessions. Pilgrims reported that he had an extraordinary ability to read souls, to know the sins and struggles of penitents before they even confessed them. This reputation made him a spiritual director to thousands. Many of his letters to people asking for advice survive, offering guidance, encouragement, and instruction in the Christian life. His spirituality emphasized prayer, humility, suffering as participation in Christ's passion, and unwavering devotion to the Eucharist and the Virgin Mary. His ministry of confession deeply shaped the spirituality of 20th century Italian Catholicism and beyond. In an age of rapid secularization, Padre Pio's witness recalled a more penitential, mystical form of Christianity than many had witnessed before. Accounts of Padre Pio's miracles are numerous. Some are better documented than others, and here we will explore just 4 different types. The first is by location. Witnesses claim to have seen him in 2 places at once, hearing confessions in the friary, while appearing to soldiers or sick individuals elsewhere in the world. The second is healing. Many pilgrims reported miraculous cures after seeking his blessing or intercession. Some of these cases were later submitted to the Church for its investigations into his canonization. Thirdly was prophecy. He reportedly foretold future events, including World War II bombings in the region he lived in. Finally, there were battles with the devil. He himself testified to physical and spiritual attacks from demonic forces at several stages in his life. Skeptics naturally questioned many of these reports. The Catholic Church itself remained cautious, neither officially endorsing nor dismissing them during his lifetime. Yet the sheer volume of testimonies contributed to his immense popularity. In addition to his mystical reputation, Padre Pio left a tangible legacy in the form of a hospital. With the help of donations from devotees worldwide, he oversaw the construction of Casa Sollievo della Sofferenza, the House for the Relief of Suffering. Opened in 1956, the hospital was a state-of-the-art facility for its time, dedicated to providing compassionate care for the sick. Padre Pio saw it as a concrete expression of Christian charity, complementing his spiritual ministry. The hospital remains one of the most important medical centres in southern Italy today, a lasting testimony to his vision that faith must also be expressed through works of mercy. In the 1950s and 1960s, Padre Pio's fame grew to new heights. Pilgrims from around the world flocked to his friary. Among them were not only ordinary Catholics, but also prominent figures in politics and culture. Despite his frail health, Padre Pio continued his intense ministry of confession, Mass, and spiritual direction. His stigmata remained visible and painful, though in his final years the wounds began to fade. He died on September 23, 1968, at the age of 81. In the hours after his death, his wounds reportedly closed and healed completely, leaving only faint marks. His funeral drew massive crowds, a testament to his enduring popularity. An estimated 100,000 people attended the ceremony, with many wishing to pay their respects to the friar. Following his death, devotion to Padre Pio exploded worldwide. Pilgrimages to his tomb increased, prayer groups dedicated to him multiplied, and reports of miracles attributed to his intercession began to pour in. The Church, which had once placed restrictions on him, began the formal process of investigating his sanctity. In 1999, Pope John Paul II beatified him. Just 3 years later, in 2002, he was canonised as a saint. The speed of his canonization reflected both the immense devotion to him and the credibility of the miracles attributed to his intercession. He has become one of the most popular saints of modern times. The figure of Padre Pio raises important questions for historians and theologians alike. How should the Church evaluate claims of mystical phenomena in the modern world? How do popular devotion and official skepticism interact? For many, Padre Pio embodies the enduring appeal of mysticism in an age of rationalism. His life suggests that the longing for the miraculous, the mysterious, and the transcendent remains strong even in the 20th and 21st centuries. Culturally, Padre Pio became an icon of Italian Catholic identity, particularly for southern Italy. His image is found in homes, cars, and chapels across the country. His influence extends beyond Catholicism, as even secular Italians often revere him as a symbol of faith, resilience, and protection. The story of Padre Pio is not a simple one. It includes holiness and controversy, mystical phenomena and rigorous investigation, immense devotion and ecclesiastical caution, but it is precisely this complexity that makes him so fascinating. Born a peasant in a small Italian village, he became one of the most renowned saints of the modern era. He lived through wars, church reforms, and a rapidly changing world, yet his witness remained rooted in prayer, sacrifice, and service. Padre Pio's life reminds us that rationality and the miraculous continue to have a complicated relationship in the 21st century, and that profound figures of faith continue to emerge and fascinate millions in the modern world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more History with Liam.